A lot of Nigerians are asking one serious question right now. How did President Bola Tinubu reportedly get 10.99 million votes in the APC presidential primary process when he officially won the entire 2023 presidential election with around 8.7 million votes nationwide? That question has sparked heated debate across the country, especially among opposition supporters, political analysts, and even some Nigerians who support the APC but still want clarity. People are not just reacting to the number itself, they are reacting to what the number represents and what it could mean for trust in Nigeria's political system going forward. Over the past few days, conversations around the APC endorsement and internal party voting figures have exploded online. Some Nigerians believe the numbers simply do not add up. Others argue that party delegate or endorsement processes are completely different from a general election and therefore should not be compared directly. But whether you agree or disagree, one thing is certain. This development has once again pushed the issue of electoral transparency back into the national spotlight. And before we continue, if you enjoy balanced political discussions like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others so more Nigerians can join the conversation. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments section, because this issue is already generating strong reactions from different sides of the political divide. Now, let's slow things down and look carefully at what actually happened. According to reports circulating from the APC gathering and related political activities, President Tinubu received overwhelming support figures connected to the party's endorsement and internal processes ahead of the next political cycle. Supporters within the ruling party presented the numbers as proof that Tinubu still controls massive influence inside the APC structure across Nigeria. For many loyalists, the message was simple. The president still has the backing of party leaders, governors, stakeholders, and grassroots political operators. But almost immediately, opposition voices began asking difficult questions. Critics pointed to the obvious comparison that quickly spread online. In the official 2023 presidential election, Tinubu was declared winner with approximately 8.79 million votes nationwide after competing against multiple candidates from major political parties. So people began asking, if the entire nationwide election produced around 8.7 million votes, how can an internal party-related process suddenly produce close to 11 million votes? That comparison became the center of the controversy. Now, this is where things become important to explain carefully, because many Nigerians may be mixing up completely different political processes. A general election in Nigeria involves registered voters across the country casting ballots through INEC. It includes strict electoral procedures, polling units, accreditation, and official vote counting. But party endorsement exercises, affirmations, or internal consultations are often organized differently. In some cases, political parties use voice votes, delegate counts, symbolic endorsements, signed support registers, or aggregated support figures from various structures nationwide. That distinction matters. However, even with that explanation, critics say the APC still owes Nigerians more transparency about exactly how the figures were calculated. Opposition parties argue that releasing very large numbers without detailed explanation naturally creates suspicion in a country where trust in political institutions is already fragile. Some opposition figures have described the numbers as politically unbelievable, while others say the figures could damage public confidence if clear details are not provided. On social media especially, Nigerians have been debating non-stop. Some users joked that votes are multiplying faster than inflation, while others defended the ruling party by saying internal party mobilization cannot be compared directly to a national election. And honestly, this reaction reflects a deeper issue in Nigerian politics. Many citizens no longer just accept political numbers at face value. People want evidence. They want transparency. They want systems they can trust. That is why this story has attracted so much attention beyond just party politics. For many ordinary Nigerians struggling with high food prices, fuel costs, electricity problems, and economic hardship, political credibility matters more than ever. When citizens already feel frustrated economically, even small political controversies can quickly become emotional national conversations. Another reason this issue matters is because Nigeria is already gradually entering another political season, even though the next general election is still some time away. Politicians are repositioning themselves. Alliances are forming quietly. Opposition parties are searching for stronger strategies. And within the APC itself, there are ongoing calculations about the future of the party and the president's influence. So when a figure like 10.99 million enters public discussion, it is not just about mathematics. It becomes about political strength, perception, legitimacy, and momentum. Supporters of President Tinubu argue that the outrage is politically motivated. They say opposition parties are deliberately pretending not to understand how party mobilization works because they want to weaken public confidence in the APC. Some APC loyalists also argue that endorsement numbers often represent cumulative support structures rather than direct one-man, one-vote exercises like INEC elections. They also point to the fact that political gatherings in Nigeria often use symbolic voting systems that are very different from nationwide electoral procedures. According to this line of argument, critics are intentionally comparing two completely different systems just to create controversy. But opposition voices are not backing down. Some political analysts believe the APC should release a detailed explanation showing how the figures were generated. They argue that doing so could calm public suspicion and avoid unnecessary controversy. Others say the issue reveals a wider communication problem within Nigerian politics, where parties sometimes release powerful political statements without giving enough technical detail for the public to properly understand them. Interestingly, this controversy has also reopened old debates about voter turnout in Nigeria. Many Nigerians have pointed out that despite the country's huge population, actual voter turnout during elections is often surprisingly low. In the 2023 presidential election, millions of registered voters did not participate. Some stayed home because of insecurity. Others lost faith in the system. Some experienced logistical challenges. Others simply believed their votes would not matter. That reality makes large political figures even more sensitive in public discussions. When citizens see a number larger than the president's officially recorded nationwide election votes attached to a party process, many naturally become skeptical. Whether that skepticism is fair or unfair depends largely on how transparent the explanation becomes moving forward. And this is not unique to Nigeria alone. Around the world, political systems depend heavily on public confidence. Once trust weakens, every statistic, every announcement, and every political claim starts facing intense public scrutiny. Meanwhile, supporters of opposition parties like the PDP and Labour Party have used the controversy to renew criticism of the APC government. Some claim the issue reflects what they describe as a broader lack of transparency in governance. APC supporters reject that accusation completely and say the opposition is simply trying to score political points ahead of future elections. As expected, social media has become a battlefield. On X, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, Nigerians are divided sharply. Some believe the outrage is exaggerated propaganda. Others insist the figures raise legitimate questions that deserve answers. Memes, political jokes, analysis videos, and heated arguments have flooded timelines non-stop. And this is where political communication becomes very important. In modern politics, perception can sometimes become almost as powerful as reality itself. Even when there may be technical explanations for certain figures, failure to communicate clearly can allow confusion and suspicion to grow rapidly. That is why many observers believe Nigerian political parties, not just the APC, need to improve how they explain internal processes to the public. Clear communication reduces speculation. Transparency reduces conspiracy theories. And in a democracy, public trust is extremely valuable. Another angle many people are discussing is the role of party structures in Nigerian politics. Unlike what many young Nigerians imagine, political parties in Nigeria operate through extensive networks that include local coordinators, ward leaders, state executives, interest groups, and loyal political blocs. Internal endorsements can sometimes involve mass signatories, consensus arrangements, or aggregate representations that are not the same as direct public voting. But again, critics say if that is the case, then officials should clearly explain it instead of simply announcing a giant figure that can easily trigger misunderstanding. At the center of all this is one simple reality. Nigerians are paying closer attention now. Compared to years ago, more citizens actively question political claims, analyze numbers, compare records, and discuss governance openly online. Whether that leads to stronger democracy depends on how political leaders respond to public scrutiny. And to be fair, skepticism itself is not necessarily a bad thing in democracy. Citizens asking questions is normal. The important thing is ensuring discussions remain factual, peaceful, and informed, rather than emotional or misleading. As the controversy continues, many Nigerians will likely keep demanding more clarification about the figures being circulated. Whether the APC chooses to provide a more detailed breakdown could shape how this conversation evolves in the coming days. One thing is certain, though. This debate has once again reminded the country how sensitive electoral credibility remains in Nigeria. Even years after the 2023 election, trust, transparency, and political accountability are still major national issues. And before we wrap up, if you've stayed with us this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this discussion with friends and family. Your engagement helps more people stay informed about important political conversations happening across Nigeria right now. And most importantly, drop your honest opinion in the comments. Do you think Nigerians are right to question the figures, or do you believe the controversy is being misunderstood? At the end of the day, democracy works best when citizens stay informed, ask questions calmly, and pay attention to how leaders communicate with the public. Nigeria's political future will depend not only on elections themselves, but also on how much trust people still have in the system. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll continue following the story as more details emerge.